Good morning traders, and welcome to this week's weekly market analysis, Monday the 20th of May. Alright, this week's quite a bit of data coming out. Some of the highlights are from New Zealand. We have interest rates decision due out from the US. We have unemployment claims towards the end of the week. And in Europe, we have PMI data from France and Germany. So keep an eye out on those, especially if you trade those currencies that are affected by those. They're all listed here on the side of my screen. All right, with all that said, let's just jump straight into our analysis. And this week, let's kick off with our Aussie US dollar. Now, our Aussie dollar has been trading inside this range. Let me show it to you from a distance. Okay. We've been in here for quite some time, and now guess what, we are approaching the other side as we've been eyeing out over the last few weeks. We are virtually there on the perimeter. I've got my marker set out. I had set out markers on both sides. It didn't matter which side it gets to or triggers. So what I'm looking for right now, since we're on this side, I'm looking for a sign that the market is reversing. So meaning that it's come from all the way down here. If it shows me that it's reversing on that resistance line, that's a trade that has significantly high probability of retracing back down. So let's look out for confirmation of reversal in here. At the moment, I don't have it. That's this morning's candle that I'm pointing at right now. So let's see if I can get an inside candle, an engulfing candle, maybe something like a shooting star or something along those lines. If I see it, I will make sure that I'll let you know. But that's what we're waiting for. Okay, so that's the Aussie US this morning. Let's move along, have a look at the Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD, I've got two lines drawn on my chart. First of all, the reason for my top line, this one here, I've got a point over here and a point there, so I've just drawn a line straight across, projecting where a possible resistance line may be. But what I've also done, and I'll draw it in a different color so that we don't get confused, this really is not a line, but it's a level, okay, where the market has recently come up to. Now, if it happens to turn out that the current market would go towards this region here, okay, then that is a really high probability of the market coming back down, as long as we can see a sign that the market is reversing. One, because it's sitting on this resistance line, and secondly, because there's a bit of memory from the last high, the most recent last high that the market has achieved. So we're looking for something in this region. It's around about the 109.60 level. I'm just reading that straight off my chart over here. If I can get, let me just, something like, let's say we had a candle that looks something like this, and then we followed it up with an inside candle like that, so it comes up, gives me this pattern, well, then that would be a really good setup for the type of trade that we're trying to trigger. All right, so there you have it. That is the Euro USD. US yen, let's have a look. Okay, US yen, I've got these levels marked out, okay, up there, and they're marked out from last week. Now remember, we're in uptrend essentially, but I marked out those levels because that's the most recent high, and then it's pulled straight back down very, very quickly to this level here. Now what I'd like to see is I'd like to see this market exit either in that direction or in this direction before I get involved with a trade. All right, so if this happens to stay in this region for a prolonged period of time, it may provide us opportunities to trade inside that range. Now that range is quite large. It's around about 400, and let me just measure it, give me 1 second. It's about 650 pips, so it's quite a large range. At the moment, that trade is not on, so I really wanted to see it exit or settle into the range before we start to look at this particular market for the next possible trade. All right, so for now we do nothing. US yen, we just sit and watch. GBP USD. Okay, GBP USD, we can see here that I'm in a converging market, converging triangle, and we are approaching this hot zone which I've got marked out. Okay, so I'm looking for a reversal setup, something like this, one of our favorites, which is like an inside candle, and then we would be happy to become sellers in this particular market. So let's look out for this. This may happen over the next 2 to 3 candles. Let's see what this one plays out for us. Let's move along, have a look at oil, WTI. Okay, WTI, I can see that we've been tracking. I've got a support line here. I've been looking in this cluster for a reversal pattern, but it just has not happened. I haven't got that clear reversal to give me the signal to become a buyer. So I'm still sitting and waiting. What may happen is it may drift up a little bit. Let me just extend this line. It may drift up a little bit, and then look out particularly if you get something like this. Let's say you get a strong red candle, something that breaks that extended line, then the very next candle could be the signal to become a seller in this particular market. All right, so keep an eye out on that one. All right, but at the moment we're still waiting to see what develops. It hasn't happened as yet, so we're just watching. That's oil for this week. Last one on our agenda is gold. Get rid of those marks. And we can see here that we are approaching what could be a double top. Okay, so the market's come up to that level, pull back down, come up to that level again. Now, of course, if this continues to go up right now, well, then you'd be thinking, well, why did I put this line here? It's not really a double top at all. We're trying to sort of predict what could happen. So for us to be able to take a trade here, what we really want to see is we want to see that the market is showing us a signal that it is reversing, okay? And then if it does provide us that signal, so let's say this happens to be today's candle as an example, and then tomorrow we follow it up with a little red one like that, then that is the signal. It's happening on the level, and then we would be happy to become sellers here and see what can derive for us. But at the moment we're on the level, we're waiting for the signal. If this continues to shoot up, wrong color, let me just fix that up. If this continues to shoot up like this, okay, and then another candle like that, well then the setup didn't occur. We haven't lost anything, and there's no harm done. All right, so we're waiting. We're not trying to predict that it's going to go down or up. We're just waiting to see what it shows for us, and if it presents us with the best probability trade, that's the one that we want. Okay, so there you have it. That is gold for this week, and that wraps up our analysis. Again, guys, just posted up here. Remember, we have New Zealand interest rates decision, we have US unemployment claims due out later in the week, and we have data, PMI data coming out from Europe. I believe it's Thursday. So look out for those. Make sure you don't get caught in any trades that you don't want to be part of. Have a great trading week, and I'll speak to you next week for the weekly market analysis. Bye for now.